Welcome, everyone. I'm Paul Herman with CCLI. Here today with Rick Founds, the writer of Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. Rick, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure, Paul.
And also congratulations as the first recipient of the CCLI GMA Milestone Award for Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. Tell me your thoughts.
I was surprised and shocked, and I was just speechless, basically. God, I don't know, he just, I'm surprised at what he does, that in ways that you can't, you never dream about.
Yeah.
You know, when Lord, I Lift Your Name on High came about, I was just in a tiny little office at a little church that I worked at as a worship leader, and I had been reading a scientific article on hydraulics, kind of crazy things that interest me, you know.
Yeah.
But the whole cycle of how water can be multiple states. Vapor, it rises into the clouds, it floats around in the air, and then it condenses and it falls back to the earth and fills the rivers and streams and nourishes the earth, and then finds its way into lakes and rivers and oceans and rises back up again.
Yeah.
And that whole cycle, I had read that article in the morning and it was fresh in my mind. And then sitting in my office, my little office, which was always cold, even in the summertime. It was just always cold. So I had a little heater on, and I would, just to warm myself up, grab my guitar and just strum a few chords to get my fingers working. And I had one of the little tiny Macintosh computer, one of the first ones. And I had the Bible on there, and I had a little devotional program on there too. So I'd been reading some passages in Hebrews and in the Psalms and whatnot, and just so I was, and while I put it on a scroll mode, so it would scroll down, and while it was scrolling, and I'd just be playing, just to kind of warm myself up, spiritually and physically.
Right.
I had been thinking about that, and I was reading the passages that I go, well, you know, wow, Jesus came from the earth to us to do what he did for us, provide salvation through his death, his burial, his resurrection, and how similar that is to this whole cycle of water. And wow, that's kind of, he came from heaven to earth to do what? Show me the way, to save me, and from the earth to the cross, my goodness, to do what? To pay my debt for sin, and then from there back to heaven, you know, where we are promised to be. And I thought, that is amazing. And so hence the chorus.
Right. So that is the inspiration.
That is the inspiration.
Wow.
And what is the response to that? Wow, I praise you. I lift your name on high for doing that for me. And at the same time, you know, 3 little chords with an E minor and then once in a while. And that's how that was birthed. And then that happened to be a Thursday. We had a Thursday evening Bible study. And so I just tested it. I thought, you know, I'll try this. So, hey, got a new song. See how it goes.
What do you think?
What do you think about this? And people they just snagged onto it very quickly. And but little did I know, what God was going to do with that. And that just blesses me, because the Bible says he uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And he does great things with little things, with small things. You know, you take a few loaves, a few fish, and you feed 5,000 people. You do, you know, just that's what God does, and he does it in all of our lives if we are obedient to him. And so be faithful in little things, and you know, and that's all that is required. Is that we go, okay, what would you like me to do? This is a tiny little thing. I'll do that, and I'm doing that. And God gets the glory for whatever the result of your obedience is. He gets the praise, and it's a wonderful thing.
I've heard this song described as you captured the whole gospel story in that chorus, you know, and that's
well, the gospel is simple. What does the Bible say? You must become as a little child in the kingdom of heaven. It's not rocket science. You don't have to have a PhD in theology. You just got to know that you are. I mean, a child understands a couple of things from the very earliest point in life. You know if you are loved.
Yeah.
You know if you're not. You know if you're cared for.
Yeah.
And if you are, I mean, that's the simplest thing. And God, the gospel is that. I love you. I love you. And this is why, and this is what I've done for you to express that love. A child can understand that. And that is the gospel.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be. From there, you can complicate it. You can expound upon it, and you can write books, and you can write everything. But when you squeeze it all down, that's what it is God saying, I love you. I love you very much. And I want to hang out with you. I want you to hang out with me.
Yeah. So that very first small group, you weren't sure how they would respond. And then from there, it really went worldwide. I mean, just could you have ever imagined?
Not in my wildest dream. No. And again, and that wasn't anything I did. I just did what I did my little part. God said, here, take this and do this and share it here. And other people. Last night I gave credit to some people that I explained. I said, Lord, I lift your name high. I mean, I wrote the song, but the song, as in anything of value that gets out there in any form, it goes through. There are many hands that make that happen. Okay, you just don't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And those hands belong to people who love Jesus, and their passion in life is to spread that good news, that simple message of God. So people who have skills and abilities to, whatever God they are obedient to God doing in their job or whatever, they recognize the gospel when they see it or they hear it or they feel it, and they go, ooh, I can take this and I'll play with it and do what I do with it, and I'll hand it off and I'll do. So there were people like Andrea Whitaker Tucker, Stan Endicott, Chuck Fromm, Tommy Coombs. These were people that were in my life that were their obedience to God and what they were doing, they handled it. And from there it just that's how God, He uses us. He uses people to do amazing things. And again, He gets the glory for it all because it's not anything that really any of us can really accomplish on our own. That's going to be lasting. That's for sure.
I know that you've written other songs, and there is a favorite of mine, Jesus Draw Me Close. Tell us about that one.
That song, I had the flu, okay? I don't get sick very often, but this was just one of those days that, and again, I had to go to the office because I left some stuff in there, and I just was going to go to my office, get this book that I left or whatever it was, and go back home and go back to bed because I just felt horrible. And my car wasn't running right. There was some unexpected bills that had come in that I'm just, man, sometimes, what's going on here? So I got to my office, and again, my guitar, I always kept it on a stand. I never put it in a case. Because if it's in a case, then you don't play it. So it was just sitting there, and I had a chair, a little favorite old chair that I had in my office, and I got in I unlocked, I came in, and I said, man, I just got to sit down. I was enough work just getting from the car to here, and so I sat down, and I grabbed my guitar, and I just was playing a D chord, and I was just praying. That's allow me to pray musically. And I said, Jesus, I was thinking, my life right now isn't really fun. I'm not enjoying this moment, but I enjoy you. And it's times like this when you're looking forward to then, And I just said, God, wow, it would be so nice if you would just draw me close to you right now. Let all these things that are bothering me, hassling me, and making me feel bad, just let them go away for a little while, because I just want to concentrate on you and just, whew, you know. I'm so looking forward to heaven right now, and that, I mean, that's one of the simplest, shortest songs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Jesus, draw me close, closer, Lord, to you. It doesn't even rhyme. Let the world around me fade away.
Yeah.
Jesus, draw me close, closer, Lord, to you.
Right.
Because I just want to worship and obey. That's all I want to do. And if that isn't going to happen, then, you know, like the prophet said, just, it's enough. Just take away just kill me now. That'd be great. Take me home. Because that's how I felt. And that was the birth of that song. And that's one that does just, I mean, people resonate with that, because everybody has days.
Yes.
You know, like that. And sometimes weeks and years and some people lives like that. But the promise is, you know, our life is a vapor. Whether you live to be 105, you know, it goes by in the blink of an eye, and we will be with him.
Rick, thanks so much. This has been great.
Oh, so good to meet you finally. I've seen your name on everything. I've seen you on the website and stuff, and it's just nice.
Certainly you as well. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Take care.